Hello, my name is Samantha Jean Johnson. I live in Edinburgh, um, in Scotland, in the UK at the minute. I grew up in Surrey, literally on the border of London. I have a pretty disturbing story that I need to tell because if it's happening to me, I'm sure it's happening to other people, and we're going down a really slippery route in this country, and something needs to be done about what's going on, especially with the police. So this video is mainly going to focus on Police Scotland and my experiences with them, because the way they are dealing with this and my situation and it's violating human rights. They're not following legal procedures. They're not following the law. They're manipulating. They're lying. Gaslighting is basically abuse, and I believe that it's very likely that this is part of an organised crime ring, and I'll explain why now. So in March last year, I'm just going to go through the last year because otherwise it's going to take forever. March last year, I met a girl. We started hanging out. In the few months that we hung out, I started getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and I just could not figure out why. I went to the GP with all these problems like chest pains, like dizziness. I thought I was having deep seizures because I would just blank out and stare, and I was just gone for, I don't know how long I was gone for and stuff. It was just getting worse and worse. I couldn't figure out why. I stopped seeing this girl for a weekend, and suddenly, like for a week or two, and then all of a sudden the symptoms started getting better. I thought that's really weird. Didn't think too much of it though, because I thought even like the thought of why or how that could be related to her seemed like a stretch and like a conspiracy theory. So I just let that go. And then I saw her again one more time, and she brought a bottle of wine that she refused to drink any of, which I found strange. But didn't force, because you know who's going to force someone to drink? No one. And well, no one nice. And then so I took a swig of that wine, and then I felt like it just tasted pure chemicals, and I instantly knew something was really wrong. So I went to make myself sick in the bathroom, and then then from after that it just all goes black. I woke up the next morning with severe stomach pains. I knew something was wrong, and I knew what was wrong. There'd been something put in my drinks. Around this time, I had been talking to her about planning on going to the police with information about my family, believing they are involved in organised crime, and that I believe that for a number of reasons. And I will share that information in another video, or we'll be here forever, or longer than 10 minutes, which is all I have. Around this day that I was poisoned, there was a fire under my bin room as well in my flat block at the time, and it felt like a warning. I didn't know how they knew, but then I suspected that this girl might be in some way connected to them and involved in what's going on. I realised that what was happening, and I realised why. Like, I've been poisoned, and it seems the only logical explanation for it is that it's related to me speaking up about what happened to me as a kid and what I believe is going on within my family. My family, like the people that raised me, I don't believe they're my family. The next day I ordered an Amazon test. I narrowed down the results of what the substance could be through research, and then I ordered the only test I could find on Amazon that would be here in enough time to get to A&E, so it would still be in my system, so that I could get some help with it. And so I did the test, arsenic, positive result. I thought, I'm sorted, like I have proof, they're going to believe me. I go to A&E. They send me away, don't even take me into a room, talk to me like absolute scum. And I write a complaint about this. The doctor lies in the complaint about his response. The complaint is dismissed. The police come round the night I call them at A&E. The police come round, they take the evidence, they take a statement, and they take it away and they say, okay, we'll let you know. They call me back later after I keep trying to contact them, asking for updates, and then they tell me they're not investigating because spikings are happening a lot, and there was no SA involved, which I find strange, not wanting to compare the two. SA and attempted are similar. Like they're up there, you know. Like, and SA is no less than trying to unalive me. So I said, how can I get this reopened? Like, this needs to be reopened. That person is not okay to be out on the streets doing this to people. They said, okay, like I said, if I test it again and get a positive result with a better test, like a more reliable test, like a more brand name, not just from Amazon, will you reopen it? They say yes. So I ordered the £250 test that I can't afford already. And I get it back, another positive result for arsenic. So I call them back and ask, oh, look, I've got the result now. And they just turn around and laugh, say there's nothing. They have no idea how I know about that. It's not true, never was. So, okay, apparently that's done. And by the way, the evidence I got back will be important with a bottle and a bottle lid and cork, nothing else. And then, so around the time that she left and we didn't speak again as well, I started having identity theft issues. I was getting people trying to log into my accounts and stuff, and then I paid for an updated version of Experian where you can see people trying to like, you know, when you can see the record of people that have applied, like your account, who's applied to use your account with credit. And there were so many things that I hadn't applied for, and it went on for months. It just would not stop, relentless. So I was sorting that out on, and I realised later on in hindsight that I'd had mornings where I woke up with her there, and I had the best sleep of my entire life. And the only time that I've ever slept that well is on heavy psychiatric medication. I have complex PTSD, autism, and ADHD. Yeah, I knew, because I'd woken up and she had been in the other room doing stuff, like in my main room. I don't know what she was doing, but it was rustling around. I didn't know what she was doing at the time, but I realised in hindsight that she was very likely taking my documents. I had alerted the police to this at the beginning. They said they couldn't record it because they have no evidence. So I said, okay. And then my identity's just gone. CIFAS markers of impersonation, very clear. I called the police. And by the way, this entire time I've requested an appropriate adult be present with the police, and not once have they provided that. I tell them about the identity theft. They record it as no crime has happened and there's no evidence, both of which are not true. Then recently, 10 years of my files went missing from my computer, not just chunks. There were all the important documents, all the important stuff gone from specific folders, all the junk left. So it's clearly a hack, not just accidental delete. My Wi-Fi has been hacked for months, and this has been going on non-stop. And then 2 days ago, I was blocked out of all my devices except for this one. This is not Apple. I use Apple devices. I have an iPad, an iPhone, and a laptop. All three of them passwords changed, me locked out. I have no access to any emails. I have no access to my bank accounts. I have access to absolutely nothing, and no way to get any of it open. Password managers on the devices. Who expects to get all three of their devices hacked at the same time? Not me. So yeah, I have called the police about that, and 2 days later, I've again requested an appropriate adult. They've not sent one. With the people they keep sending round again. It's been 2 days now. I have no means to buy food. I have no means to do anything. I can't pay my bills. I can't live. I can't access communications. Nothing. I'm completely blocked from my own life. And the people that hacked me have all the identification they possibly need to do anything they want. I have zero control now. This has been going on a year. The police have known about this for a year, and they have done nothing but lie, cover up, manipulate, gaslight me, and help the people that are doing this. And I do not know why. I would like to know why. I've made complaints. The complaints are filled with lies. The reports are filled with lies. There is obviously something going on here. The NHS has refused to treat me for a very long time. And I do not know why. I want to know why this is happening. I want to know how this